Morning, guys. It is the 10th of December. So getting very, very, very closely to ending 2021. Just got back from Las Vegas yesterday, was in at an event or really, really, really cool event. I got to spend time with a lot of entrepreneurs, my business partners, Joel and Floyd, and just a lot of the guys we do business with, and get some really, really good time with people to keep pushing those relationships. Nothing to me, there's no better capital in the world than relationship capital. On top of that, got to do more stage time. Got an award for philanthropy based upon our work with OUR, which was awesome. And right after I got that, I was on stage, and right after I came off stage for accepting the award, had to do a little bit of a speech about it, which was cool to have that opportunity. Which I get to stand on that stage a lot about that particular cause. And as I exit the stage, the next guy up, Mike Tyson. So I kind of got to open for Mike Tyson. It was cool in a way, right? It wasn't perfectly like that. So then I got a picture of Tyson, me holding the award. What it was is the award it's a stand that holds a Jordan 1 shoe. So the guy who was giving the awards, he's big into that kind of stuff. I happen to be big into the Jordan 3s. That was my favorite shoe. I didn't have any growing up. My mom bought me the 4s, which was awesome. In fact, I bought my mom a version, the newest version of that, actually recreation, what do you want to call it? The re-release of those shoes. I bought her a brand new pair of the exact ones she got me because she did so much to save and cut corners in our expenses to be able to provide that to me in 1989 when I was going into my freshman year. So got her those, and then I wanted to get the 3s, the series before that, because if you didn't get them back then, you didn't get them, right? They came back out. Now I've got a closet. I'm one of those cliche some bitches, right? A closet of every black or gray version that they ever came out with in the corner of my closet, which is awesome. So I wear a different one all the time, kind of a thing, right? But for the most part, still my boots and whatever else. But I'm digressing like crazy. But the guy who kind of got me even thinking about getting back into those gave me that award because he's the one that runs that entire group. Really, really cool. Got to have Tyson hold it. Got a picture with Tyson holding it. So it's cool. To me, that's just a cool situation. I remember when he fought his very first fight. I think I was like 8 or 9 or 10 years old. I watched his debut sitting on the ping pong table at my cousin's place in St. John's, Arizona. And then we just watched a lot of them after that. I was constantly watching Tyson fights. So it's just cool to see the man quasi open for him, that kind of thing. So on to market stuff. That's why you're here. You're not here to listen to me go down memory lane, but it's kind of cool to share it with you guys. A lot of interesting stuff this week. Better.com. I've had a lot of people ask me about these guys when it comes to quoting rates and whatever else. News came out this week, and you can go check it out. In fact, there's memes about it now where the CEO fires 900 people over TikTok. Interesting, right? 900 employees fired over TikTok right before Christmas. That's a crap situation. People fire people before Christmas. I'm just not cool with that, right? I've had to let people go, and if it's right at the end of the year, I stick it out. I have a hard time doing something like that. Sometimes if you got to do it, you got to do it. I get it, but doing it before Christmas, that's just harsh. The 900 of them over TikTok. Now, I get it's hard to fire 900 people individually. I get that, or lay them off, or whatever you want to call that. But who knows? There was speculation. Did he get them all off TikTok? Is it something that just didn't work out? But think about what they are. They're an iBuyer, right? Much like Zillow. iBuyers pushed markets hard. That's why we as investors have less and less inventory due to iBuyers, right? Look what's happened to the iBuyers. They're losing like crazy. Zillow's stock plummets. They have to get out of those, dump a bunch of those properties. Better's no different or no better, right? They're having to do the same thing. They were also doing a mortgage play, thinking, hey, we'll buy the houses, and then we'll do the mortgage play on top of that. We'll promise these rates. You guys have to check for yourself what you think about the rate situation. I didn't see anything spectacular there myself. I tried it, but I'm not going to get into any debates on that. Bottom line, we have what we have now. iBuyers are not, when they're trying to commoditize like that, look at what's happening, right? They're creating this gold rush that may not, something's going to happen. It's going to change, right? I think that's opportunity coming. So just be ready for opportunity to come. So another thing, inflation, go to marketwatch.com. In fact, you guys I'm going to share this screen. You may have to do a search for this particular link, but you can look it up here. It's talking about the consumer price index for November. So U.S. inflation rate swells to 6.8%. Guys, last time we talked to 6.2 when we talked about the inflation rate. 6.8. So as it says here, Americans pay higher prices for almost everything. So what is really interesting about this almost everything? Everything is going up. Everything. There's not a dang thing that I have seen that's not gotten more expensive. What has not really jumped? Interest rates. Not a lot, considering, right? When you're considering what's going on out there in the market, interest rates are staying extremely low. That's one thing that I'm really kind of surprised by. In fact, let's go back to the chart that I love to show recently. Go back to, we're showing that 101.90 is this line that I believe that's the one that I'm thinking is the one that we need to be cognizant of. And let's just zoom in a little bit more of how we actually got below that very, this morning. In fact, it dumped below that and then bounced off it. Now there's got to be some sort of a support line somewhere in here in the 101.60 range. But look, it dropped all the way down there, come screaming back up above that. So glad we're maintaining that. I don't know that 101.90 is the actual line. Maybe it's 102, because we can see these others sitting here right there at 101.95 where they bounced off of that. But we also see this, we're in this downward trend, right? If you can, I could even extend that trend line up higher, up in here. So we're still in that push. So there's a battle going on there. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. We're probably talking somewhere in the range of about 10 to 12 trading days that may prove one direction or the other. Do we break out of that? Does this support hold well enough to get us out of that trend? Maybe we go sideways, right? Maybe we do that. But right now we're sitting at 102.08. That price kind of tells you where we are above par. That's the yield that people are getting above par that are in this particular coupon. So that's where I'm looking at that. Now, when you consider what we have as far as the cost of things going up, inflation going up so significantly, and where the rates are right now, guys, we really need to be cognizant of where they are in a phenomenal position. The low fours is an awesome spot. I get all kinds of calls. People, I swear people are asking for something. They're offering less somewhere else. Why are you guys not doing something else? Guys, everything is going up. Inflation is pushing everything. The Fed pulling out of what they're putting into mortgage-backed securities. You do not think rates are going to go up a little bit? And where we are today is still historically the only time lower was during the times that the Fed had shoved in trillions of dollars into mortgage-backed securities. Trillions, right? So let's go back to this chart again. I'll just show it again in a little bit different view. But when you consider this window of time, looking here, this is the only time we've really been above this for any length of time, right? So we got there, and then all of a sudden we had COVID hit, and it come crashing down below. Anytime before, it really just came up and came back down out of it. That was it. It never spent any real heavy time up in these areas. We never had a whole lot of time where the mortgage-backed securities had that much money flowing into it. And then the Fed dumps over $1 trillion in from here to here, right? And we stayed in this place of this enormous amount of capital being in there, right? Well, this is where it was at its absolute lowest. And it's really only a 10-month window of time where we had it below where it is today. Maybe a little bit more than that, probably somewhere in the range of maybe about 16 months. Now I'm going off the top of my head here. 16 months in the history of mortgages do we have it lower than we had today. When you consider what was going on with the pandemic and all the capital being shoved in from the Fed and being just additional quantitative easing, if you will, you take that out, right? We are still in the best place we've ever been in the market in history. It's mind-boggling how many people talk about how high the rate is. It just completely makes no sense to me. They are not at all high. In today's market, with what's going on with inflation, you're making money by taking the money. Work with somebody who's going to get the damn deal done. That's where your focus needs to be. Focus on things that you know what to do instead of spending all this time shopping. We got people calling up and say, hey, I don't have a property yet, but I'm comparing you with like 8 other lenders. Go compare, right? For us, just continue to keep talking about a rate on a deal you don't even have yet makes no sense, right? If you want to keep calling every single day to find out where the rates are today and you don't have a deal yet, you're wasting your time. Quit jerking off and focus on what you need to do, which is find a property, find the people you want to work with, and just work with them. If you want to shop around for who's got the cheapest price, guess what? There's a reason why cheap stuff is cheap. You got to wrap your head around that, right? Cheap stuff is cheap for a reason, right? Now, I'm not saying that we're expensive. Damn, we're actually very, very reasonable in where we're at, or we wouldn't close the amount of transactions we're doing. I'm not trying to scold all y'all, but there's some people out there that need a lesson to understand that to get to the point where you need to get, you have to hire the right people. You don't pay people minimum wage to do the job of a CEO. right? You don't want a person at your a trusted advisor at your figurative board table and pay them minimum wage. What are they going to do? They're going to do minimum wage work. You want highly trained professionals that deserve some sort of revenue for what they do, right? And if you're trying to get lenders to do something for nothing, guess what you're going to get? You're probably not going to close. And if you do close, you're not going to get any advice. You're not going to get any guidance on what's going to end up happening down the road. You're going to run into problems. You're going to have questions. And what are these people going to say? Well, we got great rates. That's all they're going to offer. They're not going to be able to offer anything to you to help you through your transaction at all. There is something that comes. There's a price to pay for experience, right? It's a huge price. And if you want to tap into that experience, there is a little bit of a cost to it. Not a ton. If you look at us, we haven't hardly even raised our costs in, I think we raised our cost $25 in 5 years. That's all I've raised it, right? So I need you to think about those things. And actually $24 if you want to be right. If you have any questions, schedule some time to talk to one of us. My team it doesn't always have to be me. I want it to be me, but I'm one guy that can only go so far. In fact, I've even had some people say, Aaron doesn't want to talk to you, want to make YouTubes. Guys, I do this with before hours. I do this before I'm on the phones during the day. I do these things at times when I'm trying to give back to you and give you information to help you be successful at what you do, so I can get it out to a lot more people. So then I can be on the phones all day long with people to schedule time with me. If you want to call me on the fly, give it a shot. I'll do the best I can to answer. But if I can't, get on the phone. Let's schedule the time so I can ignore the whole world and focus for a half hour, an hour, whatever it is to help you through that. I am extremely interested in making sure you're successful. Your success breeds my success. If you start to fail, I'll start to fail, and I violently oppose failure. That's what you get when you work with us and my team. I've spent an extreme amount of time, energy, and capital to get an amazing team together, and all of them kick ass. So anybody you get on the team, just consider them talking to me. If you definitely want to chat with me, let's schedule a time. I want to chat with you. And just know that we're doing everything we can to ensure that you're successful in this real estate investor. We need you to real estate investment process. We absolutely need you to be that way. And we're going to give you the best advice we can possibly muster from our experience. We're not going to hold back on you. Don't hold back on us. We won't hold back on you. Deal? Talk to you guys on Tuesday.